Hi. Hi there. So I'm making this video to talk about something called psychiatric slavery. Psychiatric slavery is the insanity defense in civil commitment because they divert people from, well, rather than diverting, which they do, they corral individuals into the psychiatric system, often involuntarily. With the insanity defense, it's sometimes involuntarily, and with civil commitment, it's always involuntarily by definition. And I guess I want to focus on I want to focus on civil commitment. So civil commitment being when somebody is deemed to be a danger to their own self or others, and they're found out, and then they are effectively imprisoned in a hospital setting that is supposed to be supposedly therapeutic. And yeah, so I'm going to focus on civil commitment. That is unjust. Civil commitment for adults, anyway. I'm not going to talk about minors. I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other too much with minors. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but you know, I'm a little it's a little ambiguous how I feel about it. But with adults, you know, individuals who are 18 years of age or older, you know, suicide should be a human right. It should not be encouraged. It should be discouraged. You know, it may not be a moral or ethical thing to do, but nonetheless, it should be a personal choice. And force and coercion should not be used to stop someone from engaging in suicidal behavior. And currently, that's not the case. Currently, it is legal for, you know, orderlies or doctors or whoever, police, to effectively imprison someone who either has tried to and has failed to engage in suicidal behaviors, or else who claims that they have a plan, means, and intention of engaging in suicide behaviors. So if they're found out, they're effectively imprisoned in a hospital, so therefore suicide is de facto illegal. It's effectively illegal. It's not actually illegal, you know, but it's also not illegal to forcefully and coercively. It's not illegal for everybody to forcefully and coercively stop someone from engaging in suicide who's an adult. So that's wrong. That should change. And I'll try to present some common counters to why civil commitment is justified. You know, the person's often deemed to not be thinking clearly. And so let's say somebody's had a lot of trauma in their life. Let's say they were abused in various ways. Let's say they've, you know, failed out of high school or college and got fired from their job, is treated like very poorly by their family or friends or girlfriend or boyfriend or man friend or woman friend. And if they're, you know, feeling like they want to die, they feel hopeless because all this horrible stuff is happening, you know, to say that they're not thinking clearly is, well, to go beyond saying they're not thinking clearly, to say that they are not able to, you know, have the capacity to reason and the capacity to make decisions, that invalidates them as a human being. That is dehumanizing to them. It may not be thinking clearly to say that this will never get better, but if they're in a lot of pain emotionally, then if they want to end their life, that should be their right. Additionally, you know, people say that, well, you know, wanting to engage in suicidal behaviors is a brain disorder. They have a chemical imbalance, a brain disorder. Well, you know, chemical imbalance theory has been pretty much shown to be bunk. That's my understanding. Go read Anatomy of an Epidemic. But aside from that, if it is a brain disorder, then just like any other physical disorder, people should have the right to reject treatment and not seek treatment. And if it's not a biological, you know, if wanting to engage in suicide is not a biological, physical brain disorder, then it's not a medical disorder. It's a moral and ethical, philosophical decision. and then therefore, again, it should be their right as an adult to engage in suicidal behavior if they deem, that's what they should do for themselves. And again, I'm not encouraging it. If you're watching this and thinking about hurting yourself, I'm not encouraging you to hurt yourself. In fact, I think the opposite. I think you could probably turn your life around if you want to. I think you could make a meaningful life. I think we all have the capacity to create a meaningful life for ourselves. But creating a meaningful life is not a medical act. It's not some might say it's an act of God, but it's not a medical act. There's no medical procedure to give someone a meaningful life. Creating a meaningful life is something that one has to do, socially, economically, personally. It's a personal journey. It's not a medical journey. So, also another counter, if you look at theologically, so let's say an atheist, and actually look it up, go to a search engine and type it in. Psychiatrists have the highest percentage of atheists among all medical professions. That's what I believe I read. You could easily find it if you go search it up. You can find probably on a popular science news site of some sort, not the magazine, just in general, popular science, not capitalized. So let's say hypothetically nothing happens after we die. We die and we just go to dirt, and we're dirt. Then again, another reason why we should not have civil commitment, because if somebody wants to go become dirt and not exist, that should metaphysically and that should be their right if they want to do that, especially if we just dissolve into dirt. If, however, suicide is a mortal sin in Catholicism, right, and people who, I believe, I'm not an expert on Christianity or theology, but if it's true that some would propose, if you kill yourself, you're going to go to hell, then, well, geez, if that's actually true, then maybe we should forcibly and coercively stop people from doing it so we can save their souls from going to hell. Maybe it's good. Also, if I remember correctly, my history, that was the justification for torturing people during the Inquisition. We need to torture them to save their soul. And it's better to torture them so they can convert and save their soul than for them to die and go to hell. So again, a parallel between the Inquisition and civil commitment exists there. You could probably look at it from a perspective, a Buddhist perspective. It's going to set you back on your journey to nirvana. If you look at a Unitarian church or a unity church that has a very open belief system, again, suicide should be, from that theological perspective, should probably be a personal choice then. And again, I'm not encouraging it. I don't think it should be encouraged. We should discourage people using persuasion and peaceful means rather than coercive and forceful means. So those are my thoughts on civil commitment right now. I would encourage you to read the books by psychiatrist Thomas Szasz. He passed away in 2012. His last name is spelt S-Z-A-S-Z. He's written like 35 books. He passed away at the age of 92. Maybe roughly about half of them are available in electronic versions if you look for those on various websites that sell electronic versions of books. And the other half are not, so you have to go get them in a used bookstore or at another book retailer. But he's written extensively about why civil commitment and the insanity defense should be abolished. He even wrote a book called Psychiatric Slavery. I would encourage you to pick that up and read it. I would encourage you to read all his books, in fact. I truly believe civil commitment, stopping people from, taking their own life, is a grave moral injustice. I'm not going to break the law to change the laws. I would encourage you to, do your own research and try to break out of the pro-civil commitment trance, if you will, and give adults the freedom and personal responsibility they deserve, rather than taking away their freedom and denying them personal responsibility. So I don't know, maybe I'll just stop it there. I'm not sure how long this is. I'm guessing 6 to 10 minutes. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, watch my other videos, share this video with others, and visit my websites. And also have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever time it may be, wherever you may be. So thanks for watching.